Hey Taurus, how you doing today? My name is Sherilyn. I am here to do what is your weekly reading. I know it's a day late. I am so sorry. Things happen. But this one is going to be for Tuesday, the 23rd through Thursday, the 25th. I'll be back on Wednesday with bonus readings to get you through the weekend. Okay? All right. Whoa. Well, that was a real special shuffle. We'll do it like that. Okay. New deck. You know, it happens. Okay. All right, this one's for my Tauruses. What did we do here? What happened? Something's not right. Hold on. People got flipped. Okay. Still got a problem here somewhere. I could tell. Is that going? Oh, that's how it goes. Okay, now we got it. Better do one more then because I messed up. Okay, now we're good. Okay. Taurus, 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 Taurus. Here we go. Let's see what you get. Okay. What are you opening with? The Two of Wands, followed by Temperance, and then we've got the Ace of Cups. So this is your backstory going into this reading. So sorry. That was terrible, but anyways, moving on. I had something stuck in that tooth that was going to make me crazy. So whatever we're talking about here has already happened. This is telling me where we're coming from in this reading. So we have the Two of Wands and Temperance. And then the challenge is the Ace of Cups. So obviously you were taking your time making a decision when it came to a love situation. Okay? There you go. You weren't pushing anything. You were just waiting to figure out which direction something was going to go in. I almost get the feeling that you were being patient towards somebody else making up their mind. Meaning I think your mind was made up possibly, and this was somebody else needed to make their mind up. But you were very patient and waited it out is where we're coming from here. All right. Got it. Okay, so what do we have now? That's where we're coming from. Where are we at currently? I've got the Seven of Pentacles. Okay. Justice. And the challenge is the Chariot. Okay. This is what I see so far. This is what I got. So I do believe you were incredibly patient towards somebody else deciding what they wanted to do in a love situation. The challenge is the Ace of Cups. So I'm wondering if the challenge is not that somebody involved in the dynamic we're talking about saw a different opportunity in love. Possibly you. Maybe you were waiting, right? And then suddenly you found yourself with another opportunity in love that you could take if you wanted to. I can see where it could go either way. Maybe it was them, but whatever. So that's what we're working with. Now down here we got the Seven of Pentacles. This is where you're trying to decide how much you want to continue to invest in this situation or if you want to at all. Justice is the next card over. So this is talking about the scales being balanced out in a situation where they obviously were not balanced in the past. And now we have the Chariot as the challenge because now the speed has definitely picked up. We've gone from having all the patience in the world to needing decisions made now. So I really do feel like it's you that's come into a new opportunity to go in a different direction in love while you've been sitting here waiting. So now you have to decide, do you still want to invest here or are you ready to try something else? Do you want to go in a different direction? I do believe the fact that you have an option is definitely justice to you in a situation where things have been unjust, where you've been left to wait for too long. That's what's happened. And the challenge here is now the decisions need to be made now. It's time to make decisions, right? It's time to do this. It's possible you could be dealing with a Sagittarius, a Libra, or a Cancer. I mean, maybe. It doesn't have to be, but those are the energies we have on the board. Okay, let's see. Where are we going to go with this? So what are you doing now? Okay, now I have the Seven of Cups. Okay. The Page of Pentacles. And the challenge now is the Knight of Wands. Again, we're talking about the challenge is the fact that things need to happen right now. So in the near future, this is you looking at your options. I don't feel like you just have options in love. I do think that is the basis of what we're talking about here, but I think that it has lent itself to you having options overall, meaning that you have different options for which friends you want to have, where you want to work, where you want to live, what you want to do. You're just in a cycle where you're at the upside of the cycle right now. So you are, you're very popular. You're sought after. People want a piece of you right this second. So you have a lot of opens, a lot of different things are coming open to you. You have a lot of different opportunities. The Page of Pentacles is speaking of you, preparing to build yourself a new foundation. You're trying to learn something new, build a new foundation, invest in your future type of thing. With the Knight of Wands, though, there is a sense of urgency over all of this, meaning that it's time to make a choice. it was noble of you to be so patient for so long, but now it's time to make a choice. So here I have the High Priestess, the Six of Cups, and the Death card. The High Priestess is there being a sense of silence over this whole deal. So it's like having a big elephant in the room, right? I mean, everybody knows you need to make this decision, everybody involved, and nobody's talking about it. Everybody's just being silent, while, including you, while you try to figure out what you're going to do. With the Death card, there needs to be a transformation made, period. The Death card is falling in right after the Six of Cups, so I get a feeling like, I know you're very loyal, Taurus, but whatever you're being loyal to right now has run its course as far as that state of being. I'm not saying that the person and you have to run their whole course, but the way that you were in the past has already come to completion now. It's time for you two to either evolve or for you to let it go, right? There's nothing more for you to learn within that being in the same way it was before. It's like it's just stagnant. So it has to evolve now. It could evolve with that person as long as they're willing to evolve with you. If they're not, if they're still not on board or whatever, then it's time for you to move in a different direction, because it's time for you to undergo a transformation to get you in alignment with where you're supposed to be, okay? But not talking about it is not helping. It's like trying to stay silent is not going to make it go away. Ignoring the problem is not going to make it go away. You need to kind of face it head on and figure out what you're going to do here, okay? Let me see. Oops, I'm not going to take all those. Okay, what we got here? Who we got? I've got the Ace of Wands, the King of Cups, and the Four of Swords. Ace of Wands would say that there's some newfound inspiration. You know what I'm saying? You are getting fired up about whatever it is you need to do, or you found newfound excitement, just new drive towards whatever goals it is that you're trying to attain here. With the King of Cups, you are trying very hard to keep yourself in an emotionally stable kind of situation. I think there's a fear here of allowing yourself to become emotionally unstable, right? That's something you've experienced before. You don't want to do that again. But don't let that stop you from trying something new. You know what I'm saying? You still have to try to live life and move forward, right? Four of Swords would say that you just need time to heal, time to think. And I get that, but with these two cards with the Chariot and the Knight of Wands here, I feel like the urgency is definitely reaching some sort of a fever pitch right now for you to figure out where you're going to go, what you want to do. I think you've got a lot of other situations or people, whatever. There's other elements involved in this that you're keeping stagnant because you're stagnant, because you haven't made a decision. Other things are being held back from moving forward to where they need to be as well, right? So everything's kind of on pause. And with the Justice card in the center, that's part of that is because you deserve the chance to be able to figure this out. But there is a time limit on it, and the time limit is growing closer. Okay, it's time for you to figure it out. Okay, let's see what we get for the days of the week. For Tuesday, I have the King of Swords and the Four of Pentacles. There's something here that you don't want to let go of, okay? And I get that. So you got to figure out how to make that thing evolve with you, okay? Because you can't stay stagnant where you're at. It's time to move forward. With the King of Swords, you're trying to be very analytical and very logical about it all. But obviously, there is a ton of emotion tied up in this situation. So you're almost doing it a disservice by not allowing emotion into the decision-making process, right? Okay, on Wednesday, I have the Ten of Cups and the Nine of Swords. So there's a level of anxiety and stress towards what you once perceived to be your emotional fulfillment, right? And it's the same thing. It's this person from the past that's not evolving with you or is not willing to give you what it is you want. There's something here about, maybe there's somebody that you've hung out with for a long time and they're just not willing to take the next step, or they're not willing to let you have the title you want, whatever it is. And so there's a lot of anxiety and stress because they're not allowing you to move forward to where you want to be. And then I have Thursday where I have the Empress and the Two of Pentacles. Yep, you are the Empress. You can nurture anything to be the best version of itself. It will be, but only if the other person involved is on board. And that's where you're running into a problem. It's causing a huge imbalance in your life. You are going to have to make decisions is what's going to happen. If you wait too long, Spirit will make them for you, and you won't like that. So I suggest you try to figure it out, okay? That's my advice to you, Taurus. No matter what the cards say, that's what I have for you this week. No matter what the cards say, go out and make it the best week you possibly can. If you have a second, can you do me a favor and hit the like, share, follow, comment, something? All of them, some of them, whichever ones. It helps me a bunch with this algorithm, and that's it. It's going to be okay. You're just going to have to finally buckle down, make a decision, and stand on it. Okay? I don't think there's any bad options. They're both good options in some ways, but it's up to you. All right. Thank you.